And I'll try that again with my mic unmuted. Hello everybody and welcome to this very special live stream. It wouldn't be a live stream if everything went smoothly, would it? No, definitely not. Anyway, we are celebrating the launch of the new book, the new Lone Wolf book, which is supposedly the beginning of the end of the entire franchise. I'm super excited for it. I think many of us, I see already in chat, Yithmus has been a Kai Lord since 1988. I'm embarrassed to say I think I was probably 1992, but I didn't know how to play it. And I got book number 20 first, the very last in the actual series. I couldn't work out how the rules worked. And then a good friend of mine came along, and by 1993, I was collecting them like mad and had fallen absolutely in love. So hopefully that's where we are. The volume is a little low. Yes, well, I think there was no volume at all. So anyway, now it should be all good and all okay. Apologies for some noises in the background. There is a resin printer currently desperately trying to print resin minis for role-playing games, but we're not here for that. We are here for this. Now, the stream was delayed twice because I was waiting for this package to arrive. And if you have been supporting this project, your book should be starting to arrive now too. So hopefully in the next couple of days, you're going to start getting that. Started with book 3 and did not know it was a series. Absolutely. There we go. Found it in your primary school book fair. What a lovely book fair. So I haven't opened this yet. I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. I'm on this journey, so you're here. So let's get cracking with it. So the fact that it came wrapped up in this sort of Lone Wolf paper, it's kind of nice. But there's part of me which kind of goes, "Well, keep the wrapping. You can save it for Christmas." I'm like, no, we can't. But anyway, it's a beautiful hard copy book, quite different from the original softbacks that came in. So this is written by Vincent Lazzari and Ben Deva, and based on the notes that Dear Joe gave to Ben just before he passed on. And some of the most important thing is Gary Chalk is one of the illustrators. Gary Chalk has come back. He did the original Lone Wolf books a very long time ago, and they have got him to come back along with another artist by the name of Nerdgore. So, I mean, even opening up the book, immediately you're seeing these illustrations which are so reminiscent of those original artworks that we thought, these kind of beasts. Just super cool. And just a stunning cover as well. Giant beastie type of thing. This is the Endgame series. Book 4, and Light of the Kai supposedly is at the end. Now, I also have to say, take the dust cover off, and there's this beautiful gold embossed look on it. And then, and this is something that I wished that they had done, because they couldn't do it, so I had to photocopy these back in the day. The back is also the map of Northern Magnamund. How gorgeous is that? It's a beautiful map. And they sent me a copy of that map for this stream, a digital copy. So that's what I've got on the screen set up for you over here. And so we can scroll around this map to our heart's content. We can zoom in and we can zoom out. Just gorgeous artwork all over the place. And the map has changed a little bit from when I last was running around in Magnamund, as a matter of fact. I don't remember Helgadad being where it currently is listed. I remember it being here-ish. And now, now it's Helgadad. And the Marken Gorge appears to have, I don't know, spread. Veretta was on the other side. So many memories, and so many probably wrong memories too. It was a long time ago that I last ran around in these fabled lands. Or not. That's a different franchise. Anyway, I loved the Lone Wolf world. And as a matter of fact, Braxia, my home setting, one of the original maps was sort of based off of this. But that's changed. Right, okay, on with it. So many folks remembering how they got into it. Wow, Gary is back. Absolutely. Just played Castle Death. It was scary. Absolutely. Castle Death was the first book. I think that's number 7. Is it number 7? Where, or am I thinking of the Torg, Prisoner of Torg, the book 7. Anyway, I remember that book 7 was the first one that I discovered. I'm thinking of the Dungeons of Torgor, sorry, not Castle Death, but no, I am actually thinking of Castle Death. Listen to me, rambling on here. Anyway, Castle Death was the first one that I picked up and realized that it was a first edition. So yeah, that was something. And I have to say, I love these scrolls. The bearer of the scroll, namely so-and-so, is a supreme master of the Kai. What's a supreme master? I'm so excited to learn all this kind of stuff. Okay, so here we go. Right, let's just have a look and see. The character sheet is a little bit different, so probably I would have wanted to have checked this out. But we'll make a plan. We'll make a plan. We've now got Supreme Master Gifts. I'm just looking at the character sheet here. Supreme Master Gifts, Lost Supreme Master Disciplines, Curse, Blood. Disciplines fail on a roll of a 0 or a 1. So remember that. We've still got our usual backpack, 10 items, belt pouch, combat skill, endurance points, deliverance. We'll have to read up on what deliverance is. That seems like a new mechanic. Special items, Kai weapon. Ah, okay, I see. We've actually got some bits and bobs already here, which is fantastic. We've got the Suma sword, the Soma sword actually, which is +8 to our combat skill. So I'm just going to add that in straight away. And I see that they have listed it under Kai weapon under its own kind of space. So I'm actually going to put it here in the special items list. So we're going to write here the Soma sword. Still have never legally got that. Couldn't do it. The editions that I had just couldn't let me get through there. And then we did a stream and we died many times. Its unique properties that we'll remember. And then we've also got this armor, the Nixator mail. I'm not sure where that comes from. I'm assuming it's an earlier book. So that's absolutely fine. It gives us +4 to our combat skill, which is cool. But also +10 endurance points. Who doesn't like 10 endurance points? Okay. And then the rest is all of the usual, except, now this is where it gets interesting, and I believe this is part of the whole process, is that we've got the LoneWolf entries, and then we have a Lawn Commander entry. And the Lawn Commander has still got Supreme Master Gifts, a Kai name, combat record, but they're not carrying the Suma sword or the Nixator armor. So that, I think, is going to be a decision that we have to make. That's probably our first decision. So, oh, have I done something? Is the stream still okay? Is it all right? Is it fine? Darwin Meskanen, it has been a while, absolutely. But when they reached out to me and said, hey, the last of the books in terms of the journey is about to drop, so would you please read it? And I was like, absolutely. All right. Now, I'm going to read the story so far, so we get a sense of where we are. And feel free to grab a cup of tea or something, anything that you need to make yourself feel at home as we journey into the world of LoneWolf. The story so far. The year is MS 5105, and a new age of war has dawned on Magnamund. 55 years have passed since the massacre of the First Order of the Kai, and 17 since the Shianti departed for the Plane of Light with their fabled moonstone, bequeathing the Isle of Lorn to the New Order. 3 years ago, the forces of darkness unleashed their coordinated assault upon the goodly nations of Magnamund. Missions were assigned to each Kai Grandmaster to stem the tide, and during a perilous rescue mission into the fiery depths of the Marken Gorge, the Lorn Commander, Slayer of Sejanos, bore witness to the resurrection of the mightiest of Dark Lords. Vashna has returned, offering immortality to his followers. Then, in the spring of MS 5103, 2 years ago, Greystar came with dire tidings. The spirit of Agarash the Damned, demon lord, he who once conquered all Magnamund, stirs in the shadows. In a daring incursion into the very throne room of Naros, the Lorn Commander sought to prevent his return. Alas, atop the Night Spire, the Kai Grand Masters bore witness to his coming, and with him the dusk of a new age of eternal night. Beneath the shroud of his night cloud, the remnants of Agarashi kind were summoned, and vague swarms unleashed. Agarash's own avatar was also unleashed and ascended to Kai Supreme Master. The War of the Gods, Tassa Tas Dophiem, as prophesied by the elder Magi, had begun. In the weeks that followed, embers of war were rekindled. Agarash remained on the dark throne of Naros, his scattered hordes rallying to his banner. Province after province fell to the savagery of the Agarashi, their lands despoiled, their southern skies shrouded by the Night Council, Cyan, Ilion, and Chai cast into unending darkness. Amidst this gloom, the Lorn Commander and Greystar stood as beacons of hope, victory in the land of Shadakai, earning the Lorn Commander the title of Marshal of the Southern Freelands. LoneWolf ventured alone into the Underdark to answer Vashna's challenge. Scattering his fiery form, new incarnations of the Dark Lord arose from the molten depths of the Nengud Kor Adez, until finally a spear of flame pierced LoneWolf's flesh. Steel Hand came, clutching the Somersword, and carved a narrow path out of Zek-Gazad. Vashna burst from the Zout, the wasteland that borders the Marken Gorge, his armies cutting through Freeland strongholds in the old Zarturul Vale, the gateway of the Stormlands. Bearing colossal weapons of war, legions of Doomga were unleashed by seasoned Dakarim, supported by monstrous creatures of metal and flesh, battle-forged Kran, Doomwolves, and Gurgas, their bones and bodies fused with Kaganite plates and blades. Marshal Luthos Vorgada revelled and revealed his treachery and brought the Magadorian army to join the Zout forces. But these were not the most fearsome weapons that Archlord Vashna possessed, for he commands the Nengud Koradez itself, his essence fused with its power, and the countless agonized souls that sustain it, flowing unchecked through the underworld, erupting to unleash blazing legions of the undead. The army of Saloni was incinerated before battle could be joined, and the countries of Lyris, Delden, and Eldenora fell within months. Nothing the Freelands could muster stood a chance against such overwhelming power. More dark and fearsome things moved in the shadows. The ancient Darklands army descended upon Sumerland through the Dern Crags. Brave soldiers of the Sumerlanding army of the north, led by Kai Marshal Star Lynx, confronted this ancient foe in a mighty battle at Shearsheld, and with the support of the skyship fleet of the Brotherhood, victory seemed within reach. Yet on that fateful day, a new champion of Na emerged. the Zuranok Nar, a necromancer of unprecedented power, proclaiming itself champion of the Nadzirarim, struck without warning. Skyships burned. Even the sorceries of the Magicians' Guild were overcome. But rather than press its advantage, the Zuranok Nar vanished, as though trading swift victory for a hidden design. In the uneasy calm that followed Seersheld, Lone Wolf dispatched Lady Aurea, the new Order's ambassador, to forge a final alliance. Aboard the Star Strider, captained by the Brotherhood Elder Akraban, she crossed the Freelands and teleported entire battalions to reinforce Slovia and Pelmrion, and block Vashna's divided hosts. But their efforts did not go unnoticed. As they departed Lenka, the Zuranok Nar sprung its trap. It ambushed the Star Strider, and, in a selfless act of sacrifice, Akraban locked the creature in a desperate spell, teleporting himself and the Zuranok Nar away, allowing the Sunstrider to escape. Miraculously, Akraban was found several days later deep in the Dragon's Teeth Mountains, unresponsive, yet alive. Their mission endured. Crossing the treacherous wildlands, Kai Marshal Steel Hand led the Sumalanding army of the south to join the forces of Duranor, and from the scorching sands of the dry main desert, the Black Army of Vasagonia marched to stand beside old foes. United, Steel Hand drove them through the Churdas Mountains to break the siege of Tahoe, and at Navasari, the armies of Kakush, Firalond, and Desi gathered, striking for besieged Anari to join the great muster of the Freelands. In the west, the kings of Lenkia and Bor rallied their armies to Pelmrion's aid. Supreme Master Lone Wolf appeared aboard the mighty Skyfort, and the Magadorians withdrew north into Eldenora. Lone Wolf challenged Marshal Vorgada to single combat, but the sudden fury of the Nengudkorades covered the traitor's escape. Now the Allies hold the highway across the River Storm, the last bridge between east and west. Though victory hangs in the balance, the way lies open for a final muster upon the great Slavarian plain and the ultimate confrontation with Vashna. Meanwhile, in southern Magnamund, the Lorn commander led his own unprecedented alliance of Sionese, Reservonian, Lunarlian, and Shadakeen forces against the boundless Dark Wall horde upon the Sero plain of Cyan. There Agarash revealed himself once more. Before his terrible wrath, the Lorn commander was driven to retreat, but not before being marked by a dreadful curse. The demon lord gave no chase. His path turned instead towards Seora, his conquest of Siren all but certain. Behold the doom of Magnamund. In the south, the doom lord of the pit stands poised to reach the Tentarius, his night cloud creeping ever further. In the north, the prince of the restless dead, fused with the Nengudkorades, taints the lands. Devastating earthquakes widen the great chasms of Magnamund, reaching even to the southern realms. Hope now rests upon the supreme masters of the new order, Lone Wolf, commander of the armies of the north, wounded by the Ades, and the Lorn commander, marshal of the southern Freelands, touched by the curse of Agarash. Together they must gather strength to challenge the Kura Tasnar, the Sons of the Dark, and deliver Magnamund from ruin. Lone Wolf has summoned a council of trusted allies to the hallowed halls of the Brotherhood Guild Hall, in the relative safety of Turan, furthest from both shadow and flame. The Lorn commander makes haste from the south to join them. Such a gathering has not been called in many years, and its rarity stirs more than urgency. Whispers of hope travel with the messengers. Perhaps the Supreme Masters carry a plan bold enough to turn the tide. Despite this shallow hope, the druids, sages, and mage masters of Magnamund have watched old rhythms falter. The wind no longer shifts with the moons, and the tides have turned strange. Beasts of the wild stink and shrink from the open, their patterns lost. Forests stand quiet. Crops wither in lands where they once grew fat, and summer never came. Will you begin this adventure as Lone Wolf or as the Lorn Commander? Well, there you go, folks. Goodness, there were so many names that I haven't read aloud in so many years. Zoranok Nar. That's a bit of a tongue twister, but nothing comes close to the full name Kuratasnar. No, that was the easy one. What was the other one? Nengudkor Adez. So much fun to say out aloud. Do it at home, sitting right now. Just say it. Nengudkor Adez. What a wonderful thing. Okay, so we have to choose whether we're going to play as Lone Wolf or the Lorn Commander. Do we want to marshal the northern forces or the southern forces? I don't know which one sounds worse, to be absolutely honest with you. I mean, it's all just sad and scary. I remember running through those lands. It was all fun and games. Anyway, so think about it. If you haven't fallen asleep already, I did my best. I hope it was, I hope it was entertaining. Light of the Kai Volume 1 marks a turning point in the Lone Wolf saga. The rules reflect this. For the first time, you will guide both Lone Wolf and the Lorn Commander, each embarking on their first fully playable mission since ascending to the rank of Kai Supreme Master. Their powers have grown, so too have the Grandmaster disciplines, sharpened and transformed by this elevation. Take time to reawaken your knowledge of the Sumasword, the Kai weapons, and the Nixator mail, which is now entrusted to Lone Wolf as well. Once prepared, you may transfer your special items, backpack items, arrows, and coins as normal. Yes, well, we don't have any of those, so, well, there we are. What can you do? Keep a record of the adventures on the 2 action charts that you will find in the front of this book. Oops. You see, I was hoping to have you part of this journey of unpreparedness rather than opening the book. And, probably should have opened the book instead then. Downloadable printable copies of these action charts can be found by using this link. And there's a very helpful little QR code in there, which is quite nice. Right, so as usual, we've got our combat skill, which we're going to roll a D10 for and add 40 to that number. Now, I just so happen to have over here, he said, hoping that he did actually still have it and that it was still active. Give me just a moment, if you please. Cough, cough, talk amongst yourselves. Well, decide. I mean, it said decide, and now we don't seem to be, we seem to be told that we're going to be playing both. But anyway, let's see what happens. So where is it? Let me just, oh my goodness. I've only got it set up for 20s. Give me a second. My goodness. Pick up my dice. No, that's not it. You know, these people who claim to be doing professional roles and shows and running these things, and they can't even roll dice. Okay, cool, great, fine. And replace all. There we go. Yes. There we go. Good. Right, now I've got them. No, don't panic. Don't panic. Here we go. Got a D10, and we're rolling the D10, and ha! We got a 10. Why didn't you see it? Ah, there it is. It is. You did see it. Fantastic. Excellent. Okay. Brilliant. Wonderful. See? So sometimes it helps. Sometimes it helps. So we get 10 plus 40. 10 plus 40 at the moment. So that puts us on 50. My goodness. I remember when 18 or 12 was a good number. Okay. So now I haven't added in the Somersword, as you will probably have noticed, because we don't know which of the 2 characters we're going with. Then endurance, we again roll for that. Yeah, an excellent start. Is it uphill or downhill from here? No, we're still holding on. A 7. So that puts us on a remarkable 67 endurance points. I hate to think what these monsters are going to be doing. Repeat this process to determine the Lawn Commander's own combat skill. All right, well, what I'm going to do is I am going to do a slash, and we are going to then roll it. Lawn Commander has a 47. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? And then in terms of their hit points, I'm going to do another slash. And they have 67, just the same as we do. So there we go. We can keep track of that. For now, it's going to work, but we'll see what happens, what will happen as we get there. So, right. Each character pick 3 numbers from the random number table, then choose... Okay. You may carry over combat skill scores from Lone Wolf books 1 through 20, or the Lawn Commander from Lone Wolf books 21 to 31. So there you are. I mean, that sounds like a wonderful challenge over a holiday. It's like, I'm going to play through everything from start to finish. That would be insane. Right, we don't have anything to transfer over. Lone Wolf may only bring the following special items into Light of the Kai if you have attained them in previous adventures. Crystal Star Pendant, no, I don't think we've got any of this stuff. We'll run it that we don't have any of this stuff. The Lawn Commander's also got a list of stuff that they have or don't have. Okay, so Supreme Master Gifts. Upon attaining the rank of Supreme Master, Lone Wolf and the Lawn Commander were each granted powerful new abilities by the god Kai, Supreme Master Gifts. With the help of allies in Lyris, Bautar, and Desi, Lone Wolf was able to convert some of these gifts, astrology, herb mastery, elementalism, and bardmanship, into new Grandmaster disciplines, now taught within the new order. Others, however, remain exclusive to those who have reached Supreme Mastery. The Lawn Commander received different gifts and, due to the war, has not yet had an opportunity to teach or convert them for wider use. As a result, Lone Wolf and the Lawn Commander each possess unique Supreme Master gifts. Lone Wolf has received 6 gifts, including the 4 converted disciplines and Kai Weaponcraft, and must now choose 1 additional gift. The Lawn Commander, who already possessed Solarism, must choose 2 more. The gifts chosen must be different from each other. They are divinely bestowed and cannot be shared. All of the gifts listed below will prove useful at some point. Choose carefully. The right gift at the right time may save your life. Once chosen, record them in the Supreme Commander Gifts section of your character sheet. Okay, so we're going to go backwards a little bit and see what Lone Wolf already has. So he already has Kai Weaponcraft. So there's no point in putting that in. So I'm going to list that now. So Weaponcraft, which if I remember was like +5 to your combat skill. Thanks to this gift, Lone Wolf became a master weaponsmith. Taught by the god Kai, Lone Wolf gained the knowledge to forge new alloys and shape magical materials, such as collinium and dragon scales, into weapons and armor of supernatural quality, imbuing them with additional powers. Lone Wolf used this mastery to forge 10 magical weapons and 8 enchanted armors in the furnaces of the Kai Monastery. Right, so, if Lone Wolf finds a weapon-like special item or piece of armor, and has access to a smithy, it can be enhanced. Right, okay, that's fine. So, good for him. So we need to choose, as a result, we need to choose 6 gifts, including the 4 converted disciplines and Kai Weaponcraft. So 5 more to go. So we have got Kai Engineering, and I remember we used to do this as a poll once, many dark moons ago. But I think for expediency's sake, let's just I'll just choose a bunch. We're probably going to meet a grisly end anyway, and then we can decide upon it. And also it allows you to then to then go through it. So we have Kai engineering, knowledge and intellect to become a master engineer, capable of designing complex machines, incorporate magical items into their machines. We are going to war. So maybe that's an interesting one. We've got time exploration. This gift grants the Kai Supreme Master a power never before seen in Magnamund. The ability to briefly manipulate time, defying the laws of Aeon. Once per day, the Supreme Master can make a short jump forward in time to glimpse the immediate consequences of a decision, then return to the present to act accordingly. This glimpse reveals only short-term outcomes, not long-term effects. Wow. They can also halt time within a 20-foot radius for 30 seconds. This can be used to escape, investigate, or strike. It may only be used once per adventure and costs 6 endurance points. Gods, demigods, and champions of darkness are immune. A lesser version of this power may be used once per adventure to slow enemies in combat, reducing their combat skill. Okay, so time exploration sounds pretty cool. Dimensionalism. The Kai Supreme Master with this gift can shift into alternate dimensions of the prime material of the material plane of Aeon, becoming temporarily incorporeal. This allows them to pass through walls without opening doors, move through barriers, power shields, and to enter enclosed spaces. They can also evade all types of missiles, magic or mundane. Returning to Aeon's standard dimension costs 2 endurance points. Interesting. Interesting. Then there's transmutation, which is what it sounds like. Alter matter by converting elements into other of similar density whilst keeping mass constant. Oh, and that's it. Those are what we have to choose from. Well, there's not much of a choice, is there? Because I think those are them. Did I misread something? Has received 6 gifts, including the 4 coveted. Oh, that's it. We just have these. We don't have to. There's nothing to choose. Wait, I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's nothing to choose. Those are what we have. We just have them automatically anyway. All right. So I'm assuming the book will just know that. The curses of Kuratasna. Both Lone Wolf and the Lorn Commander suffered grievously during the New Age of War, each cursed by one of the greatest champions of darkness, Vashna and Agarash, respectively. Though the nature and effects of those curses differ, both are deeply debilitating and potentially lethal, limiting the Kai Supreme Master's ability to wield their full powers. During the assault on Dark Lord Vashna's stronghold of Zek-Gazad, Supreme Master Lone Wolf's heart was gravely wounded when pierced by a spear of liquid fire from the Nengud Kor Adez. Lone Wolf survived only with the aid of Supreme Master Kai powers. Within Lone Wolf's chest now burns an incurable black flame, a void of seething darkness that not even the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star has been able to heal. As a result of this wound, Lone Wolf endures constant excruciating pain. More critically, the corruption of the Nengud Kor Adez can temporarily suppress some Kai powers entirely. While Lone Wolf's passive abilities, knowledge, and practical skills remain intact, such as Grand Hunt Mastery, Grand Pathmanship, Bardmanship, Grand Weapon Mastery, Kai Weaponcraft, Bardmanship, Grand Weapon Mastery, and Lone Wolf's higher powers have become unreliable. Each time Lone Wolf attempts to use a Supreme Master Discipline or gift to produce a special effect, such as a Psychic Strike with Kai Surge, or casting a spell using Magi Magic, or Kai Alchemy, the text may require you to pick a number with a random number table. If the result is a 0 or a 1, the power fails and the discipline or gift cannot be used in that situation. In the case of a failure, any endurance costs associated with the usage of that discipline or gift would not apply. You may then choose another discipline or a gift to test again, or proceed without using one. Wow. Okay, so that 0-1 is a major issue. It is a major issue. Right, so now I'm just wondering, should I write these ones down? I feel like I should. So we got Weaponcraft already. So we also have Engineering. Which I think would be really useful. We've got time exploration. Dimensionalism. Ignore the spelling. And yeah, Big Sarge, I agree. Time magic is always, always useful. And transmutation. I think I'm making a mistake here, but you'll have to correct me when we get there. And then we have this curse, the blood curse. I'm just going to write it here. Blood, and that is a 0 to 1 is failure. All right, so we've got that done. Okay, then equipment. Well, let's just play Lone Wolf for now. Let's play Lone Wolf for now. Right. Before departing from the Kai Monastery in Sommerland and from King Carvass's royal palace, both characters take with them a map of the northern Magnamund and a pouch of gold. To determine the amount, pick a number from the random number table and add 30. Oh, we're getting more money. That's nice. I'm not going to complain. 33. We have 33 gold pieces. Of course, you may do that. Normally, we get to choose 5 items from the following pages. So I am going to choose 2 meals. That's 1. Just because it's always useful. I think let's... You know what? Let's go with 2 potions of Lamspur. Potion of... Is that right? Lamspur. And that is plus 4 endurance points. Not equals 4, plus 4. Right. And some rope. Because rope is always useful. Oh, what have I done? Rope. And let's go with the dagger. Maybe it's concealable. And a flute. You never know. Music soothes the savage beast. Right, Kai weapons. The Summer Sword is what we have. It gives plus 8 points to Lone Wolf. Or plus 16 when fighting a Dark Lord. I don't remember that. That's amazing. So plus 8 to our combat skills. So that goes to 58. We would kick Lorne Commander's ass. I'm just saying. And yes, please remember to hit that like button if you are enjoying the show so far. This is all set up, and character creation often takes a long time, sadly. So bear that in mind. Oh, I remember this. This was so cool. The Kai weapon table where you get to make your own Kai weapons. I think that came in book 21, somewhere along there. And you started to add bits and bobs, which was really cool. Right, we're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into that. Okay. Right, we're going to do that. That's how combat works. Oh, okay, so here we go. This is how this whole thing will work. Magnamund stands on the brink. The 2 greatest champions of darkness, Demon Lord Agarash and Dark Lord Vashna, now roam freely, leading monstrous hordes in the name of their creator, the Dark God Na. Chief among their agents is the deadly Zuranakar, champion of the Nadzirarim. Only the Supreme Kai Masters and their allies remain to oppose them, yet the war is hopelessly unbalanced. Years of battle have proven that Vashna and Agarash cannot be defeated through force alone. A desperate plan must be forged, one that will lead your Supreme Masters deep into the shadowed corners of northern Magnamund to weaken Agarash and halt the spread of Vashna's Nengudkoradas. But the forces of darkness are not united, and their rivalries may be turned to your advantage. Some of the items you find will aid you, others may prove worthless. Key discoveries may be vital, but you must choose wisely what to keep. Items can be exchanged between your Kai Supreme Masters. What is useless to one may be essential to the other. Choose your Supreme Master gifts with care. Completion of previous Lone Wolf adventures may offer an edge, but is not required to finish this final quest. When switching between Supreme Masters, the inactive character cannot die, but may make poor decisions without your guidance. That sounds intriguing. Light of the Kai, Volume 1. If you wish to begin this adventure as Lone Wolf, turn to page 1. If you prefer to start this adventure as the Lorn Commander, turn to page 201. May Kai and Isha guide your path. For Summerland and the Kai. Well, we're going to play as Lone Wolf because those are the stats I have drawn up. Right. Here we go. On the adventure finally. 43 minutes in. I hope you are comfortable. Oh boy. You are Lone Wolf, Supreme Master of the New Order of Kai. It is dawn. You stand on the covered parapet of Toran's south gate, watching sunlight creep along the western bank of the Tor River Valley. Despite the early hour, the city watch below is busy controlling hundreds of desperate Sumalanding seeking shelter behind Toran's curtain wall and the magic of the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star. Among them are many refugees from foreign lands. They reached Sumaland after Kai Marshal Steelhand and the Army of the South broke the blockade of the Goruma in Cloacia, the only remaining land route to the Last Lands. Many have bivouacked along the King's Highway for days, if not weeks. A shanty town has sprung up in front of the Sun Barbican, and Toranese are gathering on Southgate of more refugees. On Southgate Square, behind the wall, to continue their protest against the admittance of more refugees. Looking out upon this scene, you cannot help but be reminded of another parapet, another dawn. But that was then. This is now. And as commander of the armies of the north, marshal of the realm of Sumaland, bearer of the Swama sword, you are responsible for protecting your people against this spreading threat. Sumalanding, Stornlanders, Cloesians, all have lost lands and homes to the Nengud Kor Adez. The Adez. For 2 years you have lived with its touch upon your heart, burning in your chest, ever present. No one knows the extent of the blood curse, not even the magicians who told you the best they could do was dim the pain. At times you have felt yourself slipping away. All night in the Guildhall, the greatest sages of Magnamund have been debating how to contain the Nengud Kor Adez. When a consensus could not be reached, Greystar declared he would ask the gods of light to entrust him with the legendary moonstone of the Chianti, to wield in a desperate plan to sunder Vashna's spirit from the Adez once and for all. He stepped into the Shadowgate of Toran at midnight. No one knows better than you how strangely time flows on the plane of light. There may be nothing left to save when he returns. I knew I'd find you here, says the wary voice of Baron Vero Vinas. To see the consequences of your decisions, Marshal of the Realm. The army of the South may have broken sieges, but now their people flood north, and the Guild Guardians can barely defend their own shops. How are we to feed them? Baron, the Guildmasters would complain even if there was no war. That is true, the unsumalanding noble responds with a dry laugh. But with the Runan mines and the Cassorian highway lost, the guilds are all that stand in the way of bankruptcy. And our allies are all that stand in the way of Vashna. We accept their soldiers, yet turn away their people. The Herb Warden's delegation was absent again from this morning's council, he says, changing the subject. I came to ask, Marshal, will we force entry? break into the consulate and grasp the reason behind their disappearance. The situation must be desperate indeed in the eyes of the council for the Baron to propose such a diplomatic affront in his own city. But the herb wardens of Bauta are perhaps the only allies that could shed light on the mysterious and terrible changes taking place in the natural order. Ever since the end of the Darklands War, the herb wardens have attempted to keep the Nen-Good Kor Ades at bay within the borders of the Darklands. And yet it is growing unchecked, turning the free kingdoms into new provinces of the Darklands, one after the other. As if in answer to your thoughts, laughter echoes faintly from a deep place in your mind, and a familiar pain engulfs you. The Arch-Lord of the Darklands has perceived your distress. You lose one endurance point and feel a weakness come over you. You stumble, leaning heavily on the stones. "LoneWolf!" cries the Baron in alarm, reaching out to support you and forgetting for a moment your rank. His cry is heard in the crowd below, and at once a dozen voices answer, "LoneWolf! LoneWolf is here! What is LoneWolf doing here? Fly to the Darklands, Supreme Master! Slave Ashna! They don't need your charity here. Slovia is being destroyed. Where were you when Gruma flooded our estates?" "Too busy helping the Telestrians to please your queen, eh? We Cloisians have always counted for nothing in your eyes. Why did you abandon Runon, Supreme Master?" Baron Vinas takes your arm and turns you toward the inner courtyard of the Sun Barbican. A coldness has gripped you, and only once you have regained composure do you notice the weather has turned. The dawn's promise of a warm and cloudless day has been broken by a storm gathering above the city. Turn to 73. But first we have to lose an endurance point. Oh no. 73. Wow. What a grim and dark place we find ourselves in. But then again, a lot of what we were doing was grim and dark. I love the little wolf emojis. They're really cool. Really, really cool. Yes, that is exactly how it is pronounced. Right, 73. In the courtyard, the City Watch prepares to shut the gates. The crowds have grown angry, but panic is the main concern as the winds rise sharply, tearing at tents and clapboard lean-tos, filling the air with dust. Snow swirls through the courtyard, and in the high sky above, strange twisting shapes are forming. The King's Highway is almost completely obscured, but in the near distance you see a heavily laden wagon plucked from the earth and tossed aside like a child's toy. Panic takes hold of the crowd, and a screaming mass rushes the Barbican like a tide, crashing into the steadfast shields of the City Watch, the portcullis above them slowly lowering. You use bardmanship to lift your voice above the howling wind. "Make way! Keep the gate open until everyone is sheltered!" Baron Vinas, his own voice trembling, repeats your order, and the watch gives way. You keep the crowd calm and orderly to avoid a crush, but all too soon people stop coming. Beyond the keep, all you see is the howling maelstrom of wind and ice. The heavy south gate clamps shut behind you. Southgate Square is eerily calm. Groups of frightened and desperate people are being attended to by the same Torinese citizens who protested their admittance. The scene lifts your spirits. You extend your mind towards the guild hall to inform your old friend Baindon, guild master of the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, what has occurred. But a powerful mind force blocks you. You immediately retreat behind the safety of your Kai screen. Rarely have you encountered such an impregnable psychic barrier. It belongs to an entity large enough to blanket the entire city. Something vast, shapeless, and unprecedented. This is not the first time Toran has been assailed by the forces of darkness, and the city has many protectors. Most of the garrison is with the Army of the North in the wild plains west of the River Tor, but the local elite guild guardians and famous archers of the guild townsmen remain. And the Magicians Guild can activate the city's magical defenses at any time. Military assaults on Toran tend to come from the sea. The watchers at the North Gate, overlooking the mouth of the Toran Sound, scan the waters. Trusting prudence, you order Baron Vinas to his citadel, close to the North Gate, to prepare his city for a siege. You could accompany him and get a report from the North Watch yourself, but if you want the Army of the North to return and defend the city, perhaps you should head to the Great Tor Bridge at the Western Gate and send riders from the Ruinor Barbican. Your learned allies in the Brotherhood may as yet be unaware of the scale of this threat, however, in which case you should go to the Guild Hall in the middle of the city. What will you do? Take Fenstra away... and by the way, you're going to have to vote. So option 1, option 2, or option 3, folks. Take Fenstra Way to Venno Vinas to reach the North Gate by turning to 109. Option number 1 is 109. If you prefer to run along Kian Lane to rally the Army of the North at the Great Tor Bridge, turn to 142, that's option number 2, or take Farsal Lane toward the Crystal Gate of the Guild Hall, option 3. So are we going North Gate, Tor Bridge, or the Guild Hall? 1, 2, or 3. If you can vote now in chat, that would be super helpful. Woo, we're an hour in. Almost. And now we get to our first actual decision. Is anyone still awake? Are you there? Hello? Yes, we'll be doing this for another hour, and then I will be calling it quits. So let's see how far we can get. I have to say, it's very intense at the moment. It's like, my goodness. I do also like the fact, by the way, whilst you're voting, that there are 2 bookmark bindings, which I absolutely love. The little ribbons, 2 of these ribbons, really, really cool. So I'm enjoying that. So we're actually, I need to update our map too. We're not in Homeguard, we are in Toran. So let's just zoom in on the map there. The Kai Monastery brings back such fond memories. Right, we're in Toran. I'm actually going to make this... So there we are, right in Toran. As far away as you could get from pretty much everywhere in terms of bad places. Not that there's much good places left anyway. Right, I had a look over and we are 3. We are definitely 3. Yes, send riders. Where the hell are the servants? Where are the peasants? Where are the peasants? All right, we're going to go to the Crystal Gate and warn the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star. If anyone can stop this magic, they can. That's 189. Here we go. 189. I am excited. Wow, 189. Where are we? Some of the images that I'm seeing as I'm paging to 189 are truly terrifying. Here we go. Farsal Lane runs north between the wealthy homes of the Middle Ward and the tree-lined streets of the East Ward's artisan class. At the intersection with Marine Avenue, you glimpse the training park and barracks of the Army of the North and are reassured to know some castles still remain in the austere building. The buildings grow larger and grander as you proceed, culminating in Ravenhurst Tower, a striking slate-roofed spire adorned with the engravings on all 4 sides. Ravenhurst is the seat of Lady Judith, a recent addition to the Brotherhood's High Council of Elders and Bainden's chief philosophical rival. Tasked with retrieving, restoring, and experimenting upon ancient magical artifacts, Judith and her assistants have in recent years pioneered a new branch of Brotherhood magic. She advocates for the study of the Nadzirarium, black arts, not to embrace evil, but to replicate their destructive power within the goodly left-handed path. Her spells brought victory to the Brotherhood fleet in several key battles since the Battle of El Moria 3 years ago, earning her some influence for her teachings to be adopted across the Order. Many now consider Ravenhurst the heart of a new guild. Still, tensions persist within the Brotherhood. The last time the black arts were pursued by a Brotherhood magician, it led to the destruction of the First Order of the Kai. Book number 1. Beyond Ravenhurst, the temperature suddenly plunges. Pick a random number. Picking a random number. Anytime now. 6. Okay. If it was a 0 or 1, blah blah blah, we are so we are absolutely fine. It's gotten cold. Snow has begun to fall by the time you reach Vinas Avenue, the widest thoroughfare in the city. Being careful not to slip on the ice, you hurry along the white granite paving lining the water gardens, the stunningly beautiful park inside the grounds of the Guildhall. The Magicians' Guild's seat of power towers above you in all its exquisite glory. By the time you reach Crystal Gate and present yourself to the elite guild guardians, the snow has turned to icy hail. Oh, they're basically describing England yesterday or 2 days ago. The guards salute, and you hurry through to the pass yard, a small courtyard where specialized magicians scan visitors from behind slits in the framing wall, using every detection spell known to the Brotherhood, from Sense Evil to Revelation. This recent addition to the guild was made necessary thanks to Vashna's new generation of Helghast. The hailstones are becoming dangerously large and painful, but thankfully the magically reinforced door of the pass yard opens without delay. You cross the gleaming copper-burnished hall of acceptance and pass beneath arched doorways adorned with silver, gold, and then platinum, heading for the chamber of the High Council. Using the secret power word taught to you by the Guildmaster, you push aside the great hall's formidable entrance doors. High stained glass windows cast swathes of colour across the intricate mosaic-tiled floor which depicts a vast 12-pointed star. In the centre of the star is a plinth, upon which sits the throne of the Guildmaster, the true seat of power in the baronial confederation of Toran. Each tip of the star points to an arch, beneath which rests great chairs of summer-landing yellow oak, normally reserved for the 12 elders. Above them is a gallery adorned with heraldry of the Brotherhood. Occupied by lower ranks of the guild during public sessions, today the gallery and the arches are empty. The elders sit instead along the wide curve of a crescent-shaped mahogany table, which encloses the Guildmaster's throne. These illustrious sages were summoned by you, and have spent the long night strategizing. Baindon himself does not preside on his throne, humbly sitting among the ambassador and the humbly sitting among the sages. The chairs of Wizard Regent Greystar, Baron Vinas, the Bautrian ambassador, and the Marshal of the Realm are empty. Grandmaster Starlings is pacing back and forth in frustration, showing no trace of his legendary joviality. Lady Aurea, the Kai ambassador to the Free Kingdoms, is the only other representative of your order. The Great Hall is isolated from the rest of the world by second-level concealing spells, so that even you have been unable to discern the topic of debate before entering. The denial spell cast on the chamber walls is so powerful that it silences the unnatural hail battering the city outside. And yet you are not surprised to find the sages arguing over Lady Judah's methods. This time, the cold-tempered elder and her partisans are supported by the witch queen Tanith of the Free Alliance of Southern Magnamund, and by the High Solarian Cavalandro of Varetta. who arrived just yesterday, troubled by visions of a boar of black iron that shall break the sky and cross the veil where gods dare not tread, above the horse lord's fields. You know better than to ignore such warnings, but war is here, and prophecy must wait its turn. How did your spells fare against the Ziranak Nar, whatever it is? Abandon asks. Is it worth risking the corruption of half our guild to satisfy your curiosity? Magdamon's history is littered with the fall of brilliant magicians who thought themselves impervious to the corruption of the right-handed path, agrees Sage Chaston of Chaman. My new witches have used the black arts with no corruption and no harm, Tanith counters coolly. The wellspring of our power stems from Kai and Ishur, not from the black arts of Na, interjects Lord Elthian, emissary of the Elder Magi. It has been so since Kai himself appointed us as instruments of his glory. We defeated the Agrashi Empire without turning to their own tactics and with faith in the old ways. We shall repeat that triumph. You would doom us to another 1,000 years of war? Lady Judith demands. The center path, the power to rewrite the material plane is within our grasp, and Agrash himself could not counter it. All I need is access to the writings of Vonatar. You step from the shadows, and the council rises from their seats in surprise. Before Lady Judah can speak, an enormous hailstone the size of a wagon crashes through a stained glass window, taking a chunk of the surrounding wall with it. The sages are thrown to the ground, and the council table is shattered. An unnatural cold radiates from the block of ice, freezing everything around it instantly. This would include your learned allies if Starlynx, guided by his sixth sense, had not already drawn on his elemental powers to protect them from the lethal frost. To your horror, the giant hellstone reforms into a towering humanoid, its fists like two great crystal hammers with sharp stalagmites for ice protruding porcupine-like from its body. This is a Stalagast. Combat skill 55, endurance 60. Right, so its combat skill is 55, its endurance points are 60, which means the combat ratio is in our favor of +3. Okay, let's see. Let's see how we do. Just listening so far, maybe we can decide once a decision comes up. Yeah, in terms of what magic we should be using, left hand, right hand. Let's see. Oh, I see. Welcome. Now, this being is immune to all psychic attacks. During this fight, you must rely on your supreme master discipline of Grand Nexus to resist the supernatural cold emitted by the ice golem. Pick a number. So here we go. We're rolling as usual. If it is 0 to 1, you cannot use your discipline due to the blood curse, and you lose 2 additional endurance points each round. What did I roll? I rolled a 3! Thank goodness! That means we're not losing 2 every single round. Right. Each time, yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so we've got to fight, folks. That's what we got. We got battle. I mean. Yeah, we can't use any of our mental abilities. It's immune to all psychic attacks, so no Kai Surge, Mind Blast, none of that wonderful stuff. Nope, this is a good old-fashioned my superpowered sword versus your ice golem. Right, so we're going to go to the back of the book. oh my goodness, which is full of wonderful, cool, interesting stuff. I'm going to just use one of these ribbons to mark where we are, and go to the back of the book, and here we are. Went too far to the back. Right. Remember these tables, these reference tables? They do bring back memories. There was one time when I almost knew these backwards in terms of not even having to look. Right, so we are at +3. So here we go. We raise the silver sword, ready to strike. We shall protect the council of the Brotherhood of the Council of the Northern Star. Let's go. Here we go. First swing of the game. Quasar! Yes, a beautiful, beautiful 8. So on an 8, that means enemy -12, Lone Wolf -0. So enemy -12. I like that. Now you're going to have to check my maths here because, yes, not good. -12, so 48, I believe, is what the ice golem is on. Next round, we swipe again. How about you, beast of darkness? 5, Lone Wolf -2, enemy -9. -2 and -9. I mean, this is going okay. It's going okay. We're not dead yet, as they say. 7. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I like these dice. These dice are doing well for us. -11, -1. Okay, so we're taking a little bit of a beating, but you know what? I figure that it's probably worth it in the end. Pachow! A 10. A 10. Look at that. -16. You're gonna die. And we're not. And last attack, hopefully for this battle. Swinging the sword around. Ooh. Not as great as it could be. -8, -2. Okay, so it's still standing. Right, less flourish and more actual killing. -8. So that puts it on 4. Last strike. This is it. Be gone, demon of ice. Back to your dark masters. -7, -3. Okay, so it's dead. That's what we like to see. But we are -3, 58. Ouch. Okay. Well, that sucks. Sure. Fine. But you know what? It's dead. We won. So huzzah, 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 huzzah. He retaliates before dying. Absolutely. Final strike. But we've now defeated him, so now we can turn to page 23. The biting cold recedes as the golem disintegrates. The council is half frozen, but otherwise unscathed. The guildmaster's throne, an enduring symbol untouched even when the city faced an inferno at the hands of Dark Lord Zargana, now lies shattered. But more urgent matters demand attention. You explain how Toran lies under a vast mind force, and how this is the likely cause of the tempest and the icy bombardment. The council falls silent. Even the eldest scholars seem shaken. Not even the oldest texts of the Magnamon speak of a force like this. A guild guardian arrives with grim news. Toran lies in the cyclone's eye. The army of the north, the Northern Fleet, and the Brotherhood's Sky Fleet are all cut off. The docks are shattered by a freezing flood, and chilling rumors spread of citizens turned to ice zombies. Worse, an unknown force has breached the storm's northern edge. The long winter has returned, Skylynx whispers. Couldn't help myself. 75. Let's see where we go. Let's see where we go. 75, 75. Wow, okay. Lots of reading, folks. Not a lot of decision making. We didn't die. That's a miracle. You're absolutely right. It doesn't often happen. Oh, big Sarge. Yeah, it's a bit nippy. A bit chilly. I like that. Did I say 75? I did say 75, yes. The ice demons, shapeless, intangible parasites and exiles of a doomed world. now control the icy wastes of Kulta. Despite the Kai and their allies prevailing after the long winter, they patiently endured, regrouping whilst Sumaland grappled with conflicts on its western and southern fronts. Striking when every sage of Magnamund is gathered in one place is no coincidence. A chill of doubt touches you. Could the spark of the Nen Good Korades in your chest have betrayed your plans to Vashna? The Nadziranim have countless ways to watch the Freelands. However they learned of your plans, the fact remains. Tauren stands alone. No help is coming to us, you say. We must rely on what local forces we can gather. And Toran's famous magical defenses, the High Solarian Gavalandro adds from his steam-powered rolling chair. At last, I shall see your legendary living walls at work, Guildmaster. Baindon avoids his gaze. The council chamber falls into an uneasy hush. Brotherhood Tower's link to the city defences has been severed, he announces at last, to gasps of shock and disbelief from the council. And when were you planning on informing the Marshal of the Realm? And when do you plan on informing the Marshal of the Realm, you ask? It was discovered just a few days ago, he protests, but the sabotage would have taken weeks. Judith rises, her expression heavy. 4 weeks at least, she says. That's when I discovered the connection was broken. Baindon turns slowly. You knew? He says, voice tight in disbelief. And you kept it from the council? From me? I couldn't go to you, she argues. Left-handed magic alone couldn't undo the breach, nor the ruins that bind it. I have faced such mastery before, last year, at Heaven's Chair Mountain, when the Ziranakar humiliated us all. Myself, the Magi, Ragnanti, the Wizard Regent Greystar, together. I believed if I could mend it with center magic, I might finally prove what I've long argued is true. Only I did not have enough time. Baindon stares at her coolly. This is what ambition dressed as wisdom brings. A fractured order, secrets, lies. And your righteousness brought us nothing, she fires back. The damage is done. Now, let me fix it. Excuse me. Let me use Vonatar's scrolls. The name curls your lip in disgust. Vonatar, the traitor, whose descent into right-handed magic ended in betrayal, sought power without constraint. Judith has chased his shadow for years, despite Baindon's fierce opposition. And yet, you already hear rumours of consent amongst the council, Tanith foremost among them. The vote is made to wield every weapon left. Baindon, grim-faced, relents. He sends for the Corlinium. He sends for the Corlinium safe buried in his chambers. Within are narrow scrolls of curling parchment, inked in spidery glyphs and marked with a serpent's seal, Vonatar's signature. I found them years ago, Baindon tells you. Smuggled past the Elder Council under new sigils of his own design. I never dared study them. I still do not wish to. Judith is already unrolling one. We don't have to accept his dogma, only his determinations. Look here, these glyphs echo the runework on the tower. I can break them, but the power word will need strength. More than mine alone. It could be a trick from beyond the grave. Baindon stares at her. Then with bitter finality. So be it. I will accompany you. If this fails, history will say it was the Brotherhood who broke Turan. Don't look at me like that, Lone Wolf. You're coming too. It is clear the city's magical defenses must be restored and that Judith cannot succeed without your aid. Yet the army crossing the Turan Sound may reach the city sooner. Can Turan endure without its champion at the harbour? Time to vote, folks. If you will aid Judah in the guild hall, lending your power to unlock the city's magical defenses, select option 1. Or you could lead the defense of arms at the harbour, option number 2. 1 or 2. Help Judith release Vonatar's dark magics that we defeated in the Caverns of Kelter, book 3, I think. Or do we go and rally the army? The very thing meant to protect the city. What do you choose? So many memories being brought back. Mark straight off the bat. Definitely number 2. Let's go and get the harbour going. Oh! We reckon that Baindon's got this? Lots of 2s coming in. Yeah. Interesting. Oh. A few more seconds. 2 still have it. 6 2s and only 4 1s. Big Sarge, you've changed. No, you haven't changed. You were just voting again. All right. 2 it is. 2 it is. We're going to the harbour. Good luck, Baindon. Keep an eye on Judith. Judith. Good luck. You assign Starlinks to assist Lady Judith while you head for the harbour with a mixed castle of guild guardians and battlecasters. The streets of Turan have been transformed into a frozen waste and are largely deserted. The bulk of the city watch and the Kirlundan Marines are already in the harbour preparing its defences as best they can, and soon the remaining castles of the Army of the North and the guild townsmen arrive to bolster them. Baron Vinas and his baronets, an impressive cadre of knights of the realm and their men-at-arms, arrive as if on parade in all their armoured glory. Contrary to your fears, the defence forces are far from insignificant. The enemy is now in sight, moving at pace across the ice. You are reminded of the frenzied waves that fell upon the last lands in the long winter war. With your enhanced vision, you can see how this new horde of the Icelands is made up of various tribes of ice barbarians, identifiable by their small Branach flags, as well as hulking Braknar, venomous Kelkoth, and other beasts that you've not yet encountered. You scan the sky above and catch sight of strange shapes writhing through the frozen air, ice demons in their true form. Such an alliance can only have been masterminded by them. The chieftains of the Keltese tribes and the larger creatures are likely to have been possessed. On their left flank, cloaked in shadowy mist, marches a legion of Gruma, the ancient Sumerlending word meaning shadows, from the lost islands of Te Salobo, the Sumerlanding's oldest foes. 2 years ago, their fleet encroached upon the Kuri Sea's borders. Their arrival was no accident. They had long waited for the Dark God's call. So this is how the Horde crossed the Keltersea unseen. Since the long winter, Duranis and Sumerlending ships have watched for ice bridges reaching into the Last Lands. But this time, the Keltersea likely travelled aboard Gruma vessels, swift, silent, cloaked in mist. You cannot allow the horde to enter the city streets. Strong vanguards will be sent to intercept them on the ice field. Baron Vinas and his plate-armored knights will engage the ice barbarians, supported by castles of whom they have already fought, supported by castles of the army of the north. The Colundian marines will deal with the Gruma, whom they have already fought at sea, reinforced by the guild guardians and a unit of guild townsmen. Brotherhood battlecasters will support both groups to counter the black arts that each enemy faction will surely use. The City Watch and the remaining guild townsmen will defend the jetties and segments of the curtain wall to prevent any flanking moves into the city. Now, how will you take up the battle? 3 choices. 3 choices. Support the Sumerland Knights and fight the Culticy Horde. Face the Gruma with the Colundian Marines. Or attack the hovering ice demons first and prevent them from interfering in the battle. And we have to use the Supreme Master Discipline of Kai Alchemy. And once again, we must roll, and a 0 or a 1 means that we cannot use it. So, do we risk it? Do we engage with these ice demons who may be mind-controlling the whole thing? Or do we face the Colundians? Do we join the Colundians and face the Gruma? Or do we face the Culticy Horde? Option number 1, Culticy Horde. Option number 2, Gruma. Option number 3, Ice Demons. Vote now. And Jonathan Stark has just very generously, thank you so very much, Jonathan, donated $10. Ben has given so many a chance to revisit Magnamund. I'm so thankful for letting me be part of it. And I'm thankful to Guy for running this today. For Sumerland and the Kai. For Sumerland and the Guy. Well, there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. It is so amazing how I think about it. 1997 is seconds away. It isn't decades away as I'm reading these names. And yes, there are a lot of names that I'm stumbling over, but as I stumble over them, I'm like, oh, I remember that. Anyway, very, very nostalgic. Ice Demons seem to be the order of the day. I'm excited for Ice Demons. I'm a little bit worried. We've been rolling relatively well so far. Is this going to be our 0-1, which is going to thwart us? So we don't have any alternatives, though. We don't have any votes for anything else. It's like, no, we will go 3. 3 or go home. So let's see. A few more seconds. The Gruma are mysterious and cool, but the Ice Demons are the stronger foes. I say we engage them. I absolutely agree with you. I do wonder if we shouldn't drink a potion of Lamspur. Because you can drink a potion of Lamspur when you're not engaged in combat. We're not yet technically engaged in combat. I don't know. But we'll get there. All right, 3 it is. Everyone has voted on 3. We're going to try on 3. So let us roll that d10. Hopefully we don't get a 0 or a 1. We got a 1. Well, shoot. We are temporarily unable to perform Brotherhood magic due to the blood curse and must choose another action. We are not able to use Kai Alchemy. So, best intentions, absolutely the best intentions, but we're not going anywhere. We're not leaving the ground, I'm afraid. So, now you have a decision. Decision 1, do we face the Culticy Horde, or do we face the Gruma? So, 1 or 2 now, folks. 1 or 2. What will it be? What will it be? You tell me. 1 or 2. I don't know. I remember the Culticy being so nasty and just, I mean, there was lots of ice. It was miserable. It was cold. I don't recall the Gruma, so I don't know. I don't know. Well, we've got first vote in from Mark. Mark saying 2. Mech Designer is saying 1. 1, Currently, one is winning. We're going back to the frozen monsters. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, one it is. It's 4-1 now. So there we go. I will go and find the page 128 in the meantime. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's an interesting curse that we have. $128, yes. Here we go. Equipped with skis and wind sleds, adorned with the skulls of great cultist predators, the ice barbarians glide across the ice at amazing speed. They are fearsome warriors, muscular, and wearing bone armor topped with thick furs and wicker packs for carrying their children. These juvenile warriors are armed with small bone bows that they wield with deadly accuracy. The wind sleds carry adult archers, the champions of each tribe, into the heart of the battle. On their flanks, monstrous creatures enlisted by the ice demons charge ahead to engage your lines. Among them are creatures unknown even to you. They may come from the darkest corners of the caverns of Kulter, born of experiments by the evil ancients like the Kolkoths. Whatever their origins, these monsters could prove deadly even to Summelanding knights of the realm. You join the brave defenders in the vanguard, inspiring them with your presence. But your enemy meets your charge with equal ferocity. You do not have time to choose your first foe. We're a-rolling, who we're gonna fight? I don't know what number we want. That's what we got, is a 6. 164. A pack of frenzied 9-foot Baknar attempts to devour you alive, but they are no match for a Kai Supreme Master. You dispatch them with calm efficiency before refocusing on the battle. Despite their courage, the men-at-arms around you have fared far less. Battlecasters are hindering the creatures with magical nests and empowering the Summelanding with magical shields, but your line is dangerously close to breaking. One daring warrior overcomes his terror and stands his ground against a nightmarish mutant with a hulking Baknar body and 2 scaly Javek heads which snap at him with lightning speed. His death is nearly instantaneous. Javek venom is the most lethal poison in all of Magnamund. Only you can stop this abomination. A giant mind force, which covers Turan, makes this terrifying mutant immune to all psychic attacks. If you lose any endurance points during this combat, pick a number. If you pick a number 0 to 8, one of the Javak heads has its fangs repelled by your Nexator armor, and you may continue the combat, losing endurance points indicated by the combat result. However, if you pick a 9, do not forget you pick another 1 time per book if you possess and can continue time exploration. The fangs have punctured your skin. If you do not immediately ingest a potion of Tazang, your heart stops. You and your life and your quest end. I don't suppose any of you have a potion of Tazang. No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. If you have eliminated fewer than 5 ice demons since the beginning of the battle, do not continue the combat after 2 rounds. Note this number and then turn there. Okay. Okay. We're fine. It's all fine. We're okay. It has 42 hit points. We have 58. We have a combat skill of 58. It has a combat skill of 52. So the ratio is +6. Which is where we are. And this is called a Javnar. A Javnar. So, okay. I don't think it's worth using our time stop in this particular battle. I mean, I say that, but who knows? Right, first up. Dodging, weaving, trying to avoid both snapping heads and thrusting with the summer sword. Yo! Even on a +6, it loses 6 hit points, which is great. So I will take that first. We lose 4 hit points, which is not great. And we have to roll a d10. Woo! The gods are with us, because if the number you picked is 0 to 8, one of the head's fangs has been repelled by the Nixator armor, and you may continue the combat, losing endurance points as normal. But we can only run it for 2 rounds. So that was the first round. Second round. What? Thrust! Yes! 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Lone Wolf loses nothing. We kill... Well, we do 12 to that monster. 12 to the monster. 12 to the monster. So that goes to 24. Brilliant. Lovely. Wonderful stuff. Okay. We are alive. We are alive. We didn't immediately die, but we do have to go somewhere now. Right. 164 is the section. 164. 164. Right, so let's do that. Turn to page 133, because we haven't killed all of these ice demons yet. We knew it was important. We all did, but we just couldn't get there, could we? Nope, we could not. So, locked in combat, you do not see the strange cyclone descending. It drags both you and your enemy off your feet. Deduct 1 endurance point. 53... Your foe is instantly covered in ice-like glittering armor, and their eyes turn luminescent blue. The whirlwind fades, but a lethal cold is now radiating from your enemy's body. They have been possessed by an ice demon. Return to the last section, marked and add 10 combat skill points and 5 endurance points to the totals of your enemy. Okay, so it's now it's now on 62, and we're on 58. So we're now at a -4. Huh. You must rely on your supreme master discipline of Grand Nexus to resist the supernatural cold. Pick a number. Once again, if it's a 0 or a 1, yeah, can't do it, and things are going to be miserable. Come on, dice. Come on, dice. 9. We're good. We're good. It's good. We're fine. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. The ice demon also attacks you with its mind force, so you cannot use Kai Screen due to the blood curse. Deduct 2 combat skill points for the duration of this combat. Okay. All right. Great. 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 It's fine. It's fine. It's not -6 in its favor. And every time we roll damage, we run the risk of insta-death. I mean, yeah, no. Let's do this. Ouch. High numbers. High numbers. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Suck it, monster. At -6 on a 10. Enemy -9. Lone Wolf 0. That is what we want. -9. -9. Woohoo. Come on. Another 10. Let's just get through this battle without a problem. A 7. I'll take a 7. I'll take a 7. Not bad. -6, -3. I'm going to log theirs first. -3. And then we've got to roll to see if we have insta-death. Nope, nope, nope. We're still alive. We're alive. We're okay. We're fine. We're breathing. We're okay. We're fine. Next attack. Huzzah! Yeah! Yeah! Yes, another 7. Another 7. Another 7. That is -6. Is that right? -6, -3. -6, -3. My God. -6, -6. What was that? 8. -3. 47. No! But, rolling. Come on. Oh! If the number you pick is between 0 and 8, one of the Javek's heads bounces off. However, if you pick a 9, do not forget you can pick another number 1 time per book if you possess and can use time exploration. We are using time exploration. This is something that we must do or we're going to die right now. Oh my God. So there we go. Just not another 9. Yeah. Okay, we're still alive. We're alive. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Next attack. Swing. Thrust. Cut. 6. Fuck. It's not great. It's not great. It's not great. Oh my word. This is not going so well. That's a 6. So that would be -5 to the enemy. No! -4 to us. -5 to the enemy. -5. Come on. 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 I mean, seriously, we're fine, right? And now we're going to roll again, and we're not going to roll a 9 because statistically, what are the chances of us rolling a 9? It's an 8. It's an 8. The dice is cocked, but well, it says it's an 8. It says it's an 8. We're fine. We're great. We're good. We thrust. We stab. We kill this thing. Huzzah! Oh, that was almost a 1. Oh my God. All right, so that's a 9. That's a 9. We are on 0 damage to us and 8 to the enemy. It is dead. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for playing. You are dead. Go away. Goodbye. So long. We win. And now that also counts as our first ice demon kill. We rock. I wasn't sweating. I wasn't sweating. Were you sweating? I wasn't sweating. No. Yeah. It's all good. It's all fine. And a mysteriously wonderful husband brought me something to drink. So, we're good. We're okay. 195. 195. Maybe we should join the dark side. I don't know. The first wave of attack has been blunted, and your forces hold. Yet the invaders outnumber you. To prevent them from entering the harbor, you must act fast. You scan the battlefield in search of commanders to target. Lumbering amongst the Gruma is a terrifying creature. 10 feet high and covered in thick white fur, its colossal head is crowned by a mane of orange. Sharp spikes of bone protrude along the length of its muscular tail. 3 rows of bright teeth line the lamprey-like mouth. For a moment, you cannot believe what you are seeing. Dark Lord Gurch has returned. Then you notice the ice blue light glowing within its tiny eyes. This creature is the chosen host of a greater ice demon, a vassal of flesh forged by the Nadzirarim to seal their alliance, shaped in the likeness of one of the mightiest Dark Lords. Destroying this abomination would severely weaken the enemy and raise the morale of your own troops. Driving the right flank of the ice barbarian horde is a gigantic... Oh, sorry. Change gears. Driving the right flank of the ice barbarian horde is a gigantic mammoth covered in bone armor, ridden by a fearsome one-eyed warrior. This must be the new Brumalmark, successor to Tvor Tana, the cruel warrior who led the culticy invasion during the long winter. You sense that he, too, is possessed by a greater ice demon. Perhaps this explains why the proud and insular culticy people have dared to board Gruma ships and return to the Sommerland. Eliminating the Brumalmark might make them reconsider. Finally, in the distance, A strange creature is keeping far to the rear, close to the wall of the cyclone that engorges the gulf. It looks more like a statue than a living being, carved from smooth white stone. It may be coordinating the attack, but you cannot be sure. You feel your next move will decide the fate of the battle. Choose carefully your next target. If you possess the Supreme Master gift Time Exploration and you want to use it, well, you know what? We've already done that. Oh no, we can. We just can't use it to get out of trouble. Right. So we have got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 options, folks. 4 options. 1, we're going to use Time Exploration to see if we can see which is a good idea. 2, Ice Demons wearing the form of Dark Lord Gurch. 3, the Ice Demon that possesses Brummelmark. 4, the strange animated statue at the rear. Time Exploration is always... It's always dodgy. It's iffy. It's a maybe, could possibly be. Dark Lord Gurch is important to the Ice Demons. The Brummelmark might just turn the entire culticy group, though, because he might be the only one who's actually advocating for this war. So that would be a 3. But maybe the strange statue is coordinating the whole thing, and without it, the whole thing collapses. Absolutely right, Michael Judge Brislin. It is never the raptor that you see that gets you. Clever girl. So, yes, what are we doing? What are we doing? Numbers are coming in slowly here. 4. Yeah, we're all thinking the statue could be the thing. 4. Yeah. Oh, there's a 3. 4s have it at the moment. I'll give it a few more seconds. It's a tough one. Absolutely tough. Yeah. I think the animated statue is an Ice Demon statue. I think so. I think that we're going to be fighting Ice Demon interference anyway, because we've only killed 1 so far, and the entry was like, if you killed 5, it's like, 5? How the heck are we supposed to have killed 5? The statue looked at us funny. Retaliate. I agree. All right. 4 it is. I'm going with 4. We've all decided 4 it is. 53, turning to 53. Here we go. And I'm going to take a reader's discretionary decision here, and I'm going to drink one of our potions of lamp spur as we go. Glug, 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 glug. Thank you very much. I will take back 4 hit points, putting us on a measly 47. Sure as hell glad I took that flute now. 53. You dash the ice barbarian from his skis and fasten them to your own feet. Sorry. You dash an ice barbarian from his skis, and fasten them to your own feet. Drawing on Grand Hunt Mastery, you slalom through the enemy lines at incredible speed, and soon find yourself alone on the frozen Toran Sound. Drawing closer, you see the surface of the white golem is cracked by dark red fissures, as if shattered and reconstructed. It wears bracelets, a belt, and a bandeau, or each adorned with gemstones that you sense are charged with magical power. One of the gems is possibly depowered. From it, you only sense a great emptiness. The golem is facing away from the battle, its long, slender arms crackling with blue energy, and around the creature, A wide swathe of the cyclone is lifting, thinning out like a portal. Through it, you glimpse rank upon rank of ice barbarians marching to join the battle. A chill that has nothing to do with the storm runs through you. Your forces are engaging a mere diversion. You charge the golem with frightening speed. Without bothering to turn, it activates one of the strange gems on its belt, and invisible blades of magical force fly at you. You only avoid them thanks to your Kai sixth sense. You counter with lightning hand, but the bolt changes course mid-flight, leaping into the strange empty gem. You suddenly recognize it. This is one of the fabled Malaire crystals, relics from the Age of Awakening, used by the ancients of Kelta to imprison the ice demons. It will consume every magical attack you cast. Switching tactics, you attempt a conventional strike, but against the gemstones flash. But again, the gemstones flash, and a protective shield of magical force blocks your blow. The golem shimmers, and then blurs, and splits, until you stare not at one, but at three. This is a tellurgic spell, a potent form of illusion. The statue that contains the ice demon prevents it from attacking you physically, prevents it from attacking you psychically, or freezing you. But now you see it has access to the higher magics of the Chianti, which it intends to turn against you. Oh, goodness. Oh my God! Oh, well, you know what? We're running out of time anyway. Okay, so a Chianti Golem. Combat skill. 69! 69! Okay, well, first up, we're going to make a roll. We don't want a 0 or a 1. If we can use our Kai Alchemy, we're okay. That's a 9. We're all right. We're all right. We're all right. Don't panic. You may cast the Brotherhood spell See Illusion and reduce its combat skill by 5. Thank the Maker. You cannot use spells of Magi Magic or Astrology during this fight because they will be swallowed and countered by the Malaire Crystal. So its combat skill is now a measly 64. So our combat ratio is -6. It does only have 20 hit points though. And there's no insta-death. There's just regular death. -6. My goodness. Here we go. This is for freezing Toran sound. Gosh! -4, -4. Whew. It was on 20, so it goes to 16. We lose the Potion of Lampspur healing. Great. But we're getting through. Slash! That's a beautiful one. 9. -8, -0. You are going down, buddy. Next attack. Swing, duck, leap. -5 to us, -2 to it. We won't be home in time for Christmas. Okay. Somersault through the air and strike it on its head. It's better. -5 to it. -4 to us. -5. It's on 1. No. Strike at thee, you frozen beast. This is 6, so -5, -4. It dies. Yes, but we're on -4. Right, 167, 167, 167. Come on. 167. Your final strike smashes a hole in the polished surface of the stone golem, letting out a freezing cyclone that seeks to claim your body for itself. We gotta roll again. Thank goodness it's a 2. We call on Grand Nexus and prevent taking 4 points of damage. Instinctively you raise the Somersword, and with a screeching howl, the greater ice demon twists itself aside, but not before your golden blades scythe through its ephemeral being. In an instant, the howling wind dies, and you are alone on the silent ice, surrounded by stone fragments. The inner wall of the cyclone towering above you, immovable and impassable. Turning to the harbour, you see how perilously close to the ice barbarians and their Gruma allies have come to the city. Your troops locked in ferocious battle amidst the frozen masts and jetties. At this distance, they may infiltrate the streets before you can intervene. As if in answer to your fears, a sudden blaze of light erupts from the Brotherhood Tower, and a powerful beam strikes the battlefield. As creatures of darkness, the shadowy Gruma that meet the scorching beam are destroyed, and the rest scatter in disarray, howling in fear and pain. The ice barbarians and their beasts of war also are not affected by the divine light, but suffer an even more spectacular attack from the Magician's Guild. Countless square-cut ashlar blocks used as facing on the defensive wall to the north lift and take flight, projected as if by siege engines toward the battlefield. With terrifying precision, they seek out the invaders, squashing them like insects, and the remaining ice barbarians retreat across the frozen sound in panic. You raise your arms and your voice in triumph, but your forces do not respond. All are silent, strangely blank and still, perhaps dumbstruck by the magical defenses of their city. A blast of lightning, silence, darkness. Divide your endurance score by 2, rounded up. Okay. 125. You drag your mind from the depths of a death-like sleep. It feels like a mule has kicked you in the back of the head. Your entire body is tight and your limbs throb. You are cold, cold to the bones, yet the scent of smoke lingers on your gold and white tunic. Grand Hunt Mastery should have rendered you impervious to lightning. But this was no mere lightning strike. The mind force that covers Turan seeks to punish you for your victory. Roll a number. We are immune, as our Kai screen proves sufficient, to further attacks. You are not alone. Your troops surround you, standing at attention, waiting. You do not know how much time has passed, but it is dark. How long have these men stood silent? From the frozen rank steps forth a Kai Grandmaster, and you gasp to recognize his noble features. He is Swiftsword, disciple of the Lorn Commander and one of the best swordsmen in the New Order. He was the first Grand Master dispatched to Kulte to rid Magnamund of the ice demon threat, and the first to be declared missing. The impostor smiles. The soldiers remain implacable, their faces blank. Spare me your lies, demon. You spit. Your resilience is impressive, mortal, the thing says. Twice have you thwarted our designs. You compel us to devise a more novel stratagem. He looks up where the eye of the cyclone frames the early stars. A comet hangs from the center of the constellation of Larica, its tall curled tail around it like a halo. I, a celestial wanderer, wrought of ice, drawn by the pull of our gestalt. It is devoid of malice, yet its path is set upon this citadel. The guardians of this realm are preoccupied with more distant cosmic strife, a none detect its silent approach. For it bears no aura of darkness, and yet when it descends, it shall bring annihilation. I counsel you, mortal, seek solace with your comrades ere the final hour draws nigh. Trust in my words, for my kind long ago endured such a fate. Do not turn to Ishar or Kai, for their hollow assurances will taint your parting moments. Anger rises quickly at this blasphemy, and you reach for your weapon. In answer, 1,000 sword arms reach for theirs. As one, they lunge forward, brandishing their metal. You freeze. Baron Venus stands among them, his face oddly blank. Guild Marshal Taran is here also, and Lord Knight Zakern, and Wizard Kalenban. How many champions of Taran are among them? The ice demon laughs quietly. Your companions serve a greater purpose now, as shall all denizens of this prideful city. Their essence shall merge fully when it meets its end. Alas, this boon shall be withheld from you. Your will is too resolute, like the mages in the tower. You turn and look to the guild hall, reaching like a beacon of hope from the frozen city. Repeatedly they have sought to assail us while you lingered in reprieve. Taunts the mockery of Swift Sword. Yet, with the Gestalt's awakening, their intrusions matter not. You curse the mind force. This Gestalt was taking shape right under your nose, and you could do nothing to prevent it. You cannot win here, especially in your current state. You drag yourself to your feet. You desperately need time to recover. If they did not kill you while you lay unconscious, they will not kill you now. They want you to witness Turan's doom, to suffer the same fate their kind endured long ago. Head high, you walk calmly across the ice towards the dock wards. The soldiers and the Torinese citizens beyond remain blank and motionless, waiting for the commands of the Gestalt. Turan is devastated. Further barrages of supernatural hail and ice have razed its grand buildings, and frost has claimed what remains. The ruins imprisoned under thick snow, dampening all sound but the ever-present howl of the cyclonic wind. All is illuminated by the strange greenish glow of the comet. You reach the guild hall unhindered, to find its defenders spared possession. You suspect only so that they too may witness Turan's fall. Barricaded within the great hall, your allies greet you with quiet relief. Only Baindon stands apart, his gaze distant, as if listening to some thought he has not yet named. You inquire how the defences were repaired, then notice Kai Grandmaster Blazer. He was committed to a containment chamber after his mysterious escape from the pit of eternal pain. That must have been over a year ago. Supreme Master, he says, bowing his head. He winces at your prying mind. Aye, Supreme Master. the demon remains, but after long labour it is subdued. I command his powers now. And is this the only reason Turan still stands? Comment Starlinks. You both look through the gaping hole in the wall at the remnants of the city. Well, a few buildings at least. Blazer reveals that hundreds of ice demons, possibly all that survived the long winter, make up the Gestalt. Yet it is bound to a single leader, the Greater Ice Demon, possibly the same that possesses Swiftsword. Destroy their hidden overlord, the Demon King Sula, and the Ice Gestalt will fall, Blazer says. Easily said, says Starlinks. But none here is capable of such a feat, not after such a day. You learn that Sula, in the guise of Swiftsword, infiltrated the Guild Hall while you led the defense of the harbour. Only Blazer was able to repel him. Starlinks was almost cast into the Shadowgate, and Blazer himself was badly drained by the battle. With so many demons shielding their king, I question my ability to vanquish it alone. This is us talking. I'm sorry. It's been a long 2 hours. With so many demons shielding their king, I question my ability to vanquish it alone, you say. Blazer, do you know of any vulnerabilities this Gestalt possesses, aside from Sula? 169. Oh my goodness. Well, folks, this will be the last entry that I do for tonight's stream. It's a big one, so here we go. Your trust means much, Blazer says quietly, his voice trembling. The Gestalt is immense, true, but clumsy. It's not yet anchored. If we hit it from the inside, we might unbalance it enough to create an opening. It might not save Turan, but it could buy us a chance to break free of the city and fetch aid. If I may, Judith interjects, the crystal beacon serves as a conduit for psychic energy and could amplify your abilities 100-fold. The mightiest psychic warrior on Magnamund could harness its power to remarkable effect. Very well, you agree. Blazer, Starlinks, attend to your recovery while keeping watch over me. If I manage to disrupt it, you must vanquish the Demon King, for I will lack the strength to face it alone. Baindon, rally yourself and oversee the evacuation of as many people as possible. Baindon would prefer to be at your side, you know, but he is more than your oldest friend and ally now. He is Guildmaster and City Chancellor. His first responsibility lies with the people of Turan. Godspeed, Lone Wolf, he says. Leaving the Great Hall, followed closely by Starlinks and Blazer, you make your way back to Brotherhood Tower, ascending the spiraling steps to reach its summit. From this lofty perch, you survey the city, its once bustling streets ravaged by the cyclone's fury. At the tower's peak stands a mighty rune-carved pillar supporting a magnificent crystal star, gleaming defiantly for all in the city to see. The original artifact met its end during Dark Lord Zargana's assault of MS-5050. In its place, a more powerful gemstone was installed akin to the enhanced crystal beacon in the Kai Monastery. You find a space between the towering crystal, wedged between its encircling steel bands, and lower yourself into a cross-legged position. The cold bites at your skin. You acknowledge the discomfort, allowing it to exist without resistance as your spirit melds with the crystal. A beam of pure light seems to pierce your soul, sharpening your focus. You could hear the snow falling on the street below if you wished. Your senses stretch outwards in all directions. It is not seeing, but knowing. You direct your awareness beyond the city, toward the ice gestalt. In your mind's eye, it rises like a vast fortress of white stone, mocking Brotherhood Tower as it looms over the frozen Toran Sound. Blazer is with you, guiding your gaze as you search for a weakness in the gestalt's formidable psychic shell. Then something reaches you, distant yet unmistakable. Beyond the storm walls encircling Toran, a radiant aura pulses through the void. You know it instantly. The Lorne Commander is out there, fighting to reach you. The fortress blazes suddenly, its walls writhing with incandescence, reaching out like fingers of jagged lightning towards your Kai kin. The Gestalt is directing a colossal psychic force to crush the intruder. If the towering cyclone does not pull your protege apart, this ferocious mind force surely will. You envelop the aura of the Lorne Commander just long enough to stave off the worst of the attack and guide the path forward like a beacon, lighting the way home. But then Blazer sends a psychic message. Now, while the Gestalt is distracted by the Lorne Commander, you must infiltrate it. Certain that your fellow Supreme Kai Master has safely reached and breached the walls of the cyclone and entered Toran, you summon a surge of psychic energy and breach the vast expanse, separating your mind from your body to convey 3 words. You must hurry. You turn your focus to the towering white walls of the Gestalt, where Blazer has located a crack that shimmers with multicolored light. Drawing upon the power of the crystal beacon, you protect your spirit inside like a shot. You project your spirit inside like a shot. You have embarked on spirit walks and traversed bizarre planes before, but confronting the Gestalt is altogether different. It is a fusion of myriad fragments of ice demon spirits, entities born in different dimensions of the material plane. Their thoughts, dreams, and very essence are utterly alien to you. Your mind struggles to adjust to this unfamiliar realm, the process accompanied by a gnawing discomfort. You see glimpses of Shar, the ice demon's home world, and landscapes beyond imagining. There, in a state of non-corporeal unity, they flourished. A network of immense psychic constructs, myriad gestalts, merged into a single vast will. These godlike minds wrought miracles, attended every need, fulfilled every desire, but in doing so, they drained their planet dry. Desperate, the ice demons, the Sulash by their own name, cried out for salvation. The gods of light offered only silence. In the end, it was Na who answered. He promised them Magnamund. But the Chianti intervened. The ice demons arrived only to find themselves bound, imprisoned beneath culticy ice. Their essence was used as fuel for the Chianti's own designs. Only those who remained imprisoned in the void beyond the Shadowgate and released by the Nadzirarim escaped the net. Slowly, they have been rallying, becoming familiar with their new world, freeing others who had been trapped by the Chianti and the caverns of Kulta, aiding their deliverers to harass the Freelands. Now you see it clearly. They were never aimless. Every assault, every fragment, every possession and walking horror, it was all converging. They were reforming, drawing together to reclaim the purity of their former transcendence, a singular will, godlike in power, burning with vengeance. And this moment has forever been their destination.
Show yourself, mortal.
An impossible voice, made from countless timbers, shake the psychic landscape. If you wish to protect the Lorne Commander, you must keep it distracted. You lower your mind shield.
Here you are.
You stand alone in an unfathomably vast hall constructed of countless eyes.
Rightly you envy us. It was the greatest jewel in all Aeon.
Yet all your wisdom could not save it.
Just so. Envision a world marked by foreknowledge of its own demise. Ponder upon the sacrifices wrought in its wake.
You made offerings to the gods of light or to others?
We did so many offerings, but the Lucent Ones implored us to repent and accept our fate. Only the Dark One showed us a new world.
You witnessed the memory of the embittered Sulash, serving the god of darkness as their first world neared its end, its rulers vying for favor.
But first, we must shed the weak.
The psychic landscape around you shifts, and a fissured mountain of memory rises. A crest of gigantic eyes open, glaring at the insignificant mortal on its slope. Serrated stalagmites grow all around you, and a blizzard that could mow down forests begins to blow. This cosmic entity is about to attack. To prepare to defend yourself, turn to 43. To taunt the ice gestalt, turn to 24. Oh my goodness. What? Oh. I don't know. Can I wait? Can we wait? I think we have to wait. All right. It's where we're going to end tonight, folks. I mean, there's the image of it, by the way. This amazing drawing of eyes, a hall of eyes. Right. We are on entry 169. 169. Folks, I believe I will be back again next week, Friday, to continue this read-through. Wow. Light of the Kai. You can order a copy if you head on over to HomeGuard Press or www.magnamond.com and pick up a copy. What a showdown. What a showdown. Thank you all for being in this stream. I really appreciate you being here with me for the duration of it. Really appreciate that. And remember to hit that like button or the subscribe button if you're not really a subscriber. And goodness. That's all I can say. Watch social media, the community page on the YouTube channel if you are watching that, or in Discord. I will keep you updated with the time of the reading. Most likely will take place next week Friday, unless something crazy comes up or I have really forgotten something, which I really hope I haven't. Goodness, what a journey. Right, until we meet again, I just wanted to say thank you, goodbye, and happy gaming.